What's good, guys? Thank you for tuning in to another video. Man, my hands is ashy, bro. I gotta put some lotion on my hands, bro. Ain't no way. My bad, bro. My bad, y'all. But anyway, we gonna get right to it. So right now we're about to do conspiracy TikToks that will make you rethink reality. Trump's gonna be president. 47th president. I can promise you. There's no other candidate unless someone just pops out the woodworks out of nowhere, which could happen, and becomes president, but it's just not likely. It's gonna be Trump, bro. Biden is not getting another term. Biden's done. He had his time. He did whatever he could do in office, even though it's just a lot of corruption. And don't get it twisted. Trump's corrupt too. They're all corrupt. It's a bloodline of corruption. all these presidents are tied to royalty bloodline throughout history. You could do your research on that. Every president that's either associated to the bloodline or is born within the bloodline. I'm telling you, man. Do your research on it. But I can guarantee you Trump is going to be president in 2024. He's going to get reselected to get back into the office of the White House. I can guarantee that. I won't say, because you can't always be 100% sure. Like, you know, I'm not going to make it seem like I'm 100% sure, but I'm 99.99999999999% sure. Like, as sure as you could be. You know what I mean? So, you guys let me know your thoughts about that. Let's keep going.
One of the most evil, vicious Navy bases in the history of the planet. They do stuff that would make like Santa Claus. Diego Garcia.
Well, Santa Claus is really Satan, spelled differently.
Wait. Sorry. That's where that first Malaysian plane is. That's where it landed. It had 4 scientists on it. 20 scientists, but 4 had filed for patents. It was Malaysia, but they worked out of Austin, Texas, for Texas Instruments. And the ones behind that plane was Texas Instruments, the government, and Boeing, who made the plane. And everybody is stupid enough to believe that a plane almost a block long can just disappear. With the electronics we have, next generation of cars will come out, there'll be no driver. So we got 4 of those top scientists that had filed for patents worth $400 billion. And then here's a friend of yours who's with us. So 5 of us filed for patents. If we die before the patent is granted,
then the patent won't be valid. Therefore, the money won't be going to them, etc., etc. And whatever they try to patent won't be theirs. Facts. And this is the same thing I remember hearing about, like, the elites doing around the time the Federal Reserve got made, or I think it was before that. It was people that were on the Titanic who were opposing, like, the Federal Reserve and opposing, like, the elites having more control than they already do. But this was back in the day, like early 1900s. And the people on that, and these other people who were opposed of it were also, like, rich too. They were rich too. They were like 100 millionaires, billionaires, etc., etc. But since they had the power, you know, and influence, and they were just like a regular, like, average Joe citizen working a 9 to 5, they had, like, pull, you know what I mean? So they had to get rid of those people in order for them to be able to make the Federal Reserve and control the money source and everything else that they control. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going though. Honestly, I'm probably gonna pull that video up too so we can react to that low key, because that's a crazy situation. Most people don't even know about that.
then your brother, who wasn't on the plane with us, he owns them all. So those 4 scientists, and the 5th person was the Carlyle Group. They own them all now. The patent was granted 3 days after the plane was missing.
Wow. This is our adopted son.
They laugh it off, but the boy was not playing, boy. He was not having it. You know what I mean? They laughed it off, but like, you know what I mean? The boy definitely saw stuff that, you know what I mean, like that like most people would not be able to peep. And it's so crazy because most times like kids are kind of like animals in a way. Like they can sense danger and things that adults can't. You know what I'm saying? That adults can probably not sense. Doesn't mean that they know how to react properly, obviously, because they're kids. But at the same time, like, it's just like when you're a kid, right? And you kind of have that imaginary state of things. Obviously, you could say it's just his imagination, but at the same time, he himself could see past the physical plane a little more easier than an adult who's been in the world a lot longer and is adjusted to this life that they're living, compared to a kid who's still pretty freshly new to the world and can kind of see things a little differently, even if they don't know how to express it fully or explain it or even do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, man, you never know. I know Queen Elizabeth claimed that she was a believer of Christ, but they all do. They all do, and they lie. They're a believer in Satan. That's what they do. They believe in Satan. Her lineage, they don't come from those roots. They just don't. They just can't. For the kind of lifestyle she had, the upbringing she had, the royalty she had, the people she rubbed shoulders with, her father rubbed shoulders with, his father, etc., 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 and so on and so forth, including her own children. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they paid a dark price to be where they are. Trust me. For you to be the queen of England, which is known to be a corrupt area. Come on, let's be honest. What you're seeing down here is from this movie called Eyes Wide Shut, a very sick, demonic, evil movie. This movie is literally about the elites and their evil, wicked parties, the masquerade parties where they hide their face and they do weird things like witchcraft, warlock type stuff, rituals, sacrifice people, pray to the devil, drink blood. I'm talking about they do some weird stuff at these parties. I can't remember what the actor's name is, but he played in that movie, and he was just a regular average Joe in the movie. Somehow he got invited to a elite party, and at this elite party, a lot of weird stuff happens. I'd recommend you to watch it, but beware of what you are going to probably see. And it's not because I want you to watch it because I think it's good. I think you should watch it to know the truth behind the scenes, what really happens. For real, for real.
Have you ever heard about the Titanic and the Federal Reserve theory? So, on the Titanic, there were some seriously rich folks on board like J.P. Morgan, John Rockefeller, and the Rothschilds.
And we've always heard some evil things about those few individuals and just that family lineage, that bloodline. J.P. Morgan, who owns Chase, or who started Chase. What is he in? The banking industry. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, one of the richest, most elitist families that have ever lived. And they own several banking industries and all types of stuff. They're in almost every industry you could imagine, bro. They own it all, pretty much. Like, they own it all. And they're evil. These are evil individuals. Evil individuals. Evil individuals, like, I'm telling you.
But the real player here was Jacob Astor, the richest guy in the world back then.
Oh, so it's crazy. He was even richer than them niggas. He was richer than all of them. That's crazy. And he was opposed to their idea. I think there was another person too. Maybe it was just him, but I think there was another person.
He owned a whopping 40% of all mortgages and was a Freemason who strongly opposed the idea of a central bank.
So they were all Freemasons. They were all Freemasons. I wasn't trying to make it seem like this guy was like holier than thou or anything like that, but he still was opposing their ideology and what they wanted to, you know, have the world be like. And, you know, they had to take bro out. But yeah, they were all Freemasons. Like, don't make it seem like he was just a Freemason. The Rothschilds are Freemasons. You know, J.P. Morgan's Freemasons. what I'm saying? The Rockefellers are Freemasons. They're all Freemasons. All of them. Every one of those people are Freemasons, and they worship Satan.
On the flip side, you had J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, and the Rothschilds, who were all big supporters of a central bank. Now, Jacob Astor was the one guy standing in the way of this central bank idea. Coincidentally, on the morning the Titanic was set to sail, J.P. Morgan, some Rothschilds, and others quietly slipped off the ship without much explanation. 5 days later, the Titanic hits an iceberg and starts to sink. Even though Jacob Astor was the richest man on board, he couldn't find a spot in a lifeboat and went down with the ship. Shortly after this tragic event, the likes of J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, and the Rothschilds became the wealthiest people in the world, all without Jacob Astor blocking their way. Then, in the following year, 1913, on Jekyll Island in Georgia, the Federal Reserve Act was signed into law. This act paved the way for the creation of money out of thin air and complete control over our monetary system. Many years later, a secret mission related to the Titanic was put forth.
It's crazy, guys. For real. The world we live in, man, it's corrupt, it's wicked, it's evil. It's ran by individuals like these who worship Satan, who do Satan's bidding, man. This is no joke at all. Not at all. Don't take this lightly. This is no joke. So get right with God. Keep Yahweh first. Cherish every moment of this life. Stay woke, stay vigilant. Do not be tricked by the news, by these politicians, by these entertainers. Don't be tricked. Don't be fooled. Don't fall for their tricks. Don't fall for their foolery. Don't do any of that. Be your own man. Be your own woman. Stand on your own principles, your morals, your beliefs. And stay strong. And strengthen your people when you're strong too, you know? Give them hope. You know what I'm saying? Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. I genuinely appreciate it. Everyone who tunes in, comments, likes, and just enjoys the content, man. I'm here to provide good content for you guys. And not just that. Remember to awaken the soul and the mind, man. The soul and the mind. That is my job. That's what God has sent me to do on this earth, and I shall do so. I shall do so. There's no way I'm going to leave this earth without completing my task that God has called me to do. The mission that God has, called me to do. I'm here to do so. So it took me a while to make this channel and, get up and going, but I'm here. I'm here now. And hopefully, you will do your calling and take a hold of the destiny that is set for you. Alright? I love you. Jesus loves you. Yahweh, Elohim, Jehovah, Yahweh, Elohim, Jehovah. Make sure you pray today. Thank God for another day. And enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gone.